Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to episode number 15 of our Let's Play series of Suzerain Rizia, a choose-your-own-adventure, visual novel-style political game, which puts you in the shoes of a fictional monarchy in a fictional 1950s universe. You've been watching the series for a while at this point, so you're already familiar with all the ins and outs. What I will leave you with is this. If you missed the last episode, the AN Court of Arbitration ruled against us over the Oris gas field dispute, which by law should at least be 50% ours, but they ruled it was entirely in the possession of Pales, a grand duchy to the south of us. They did this because the capitalist countries, sort of loosely based on the United States specifically, leaned on the UN, the AN, the de facto UN, to rule in their favor, and so they did. And as a result, the gas is no longer ours. Or is it? We've refused, basically, to follow the ruling of the treaty, and we are going to see what's going to happen. We've been blockading the gas field with our navy, and some stuff is about to happen. But I'll leave it there. This was taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel, so if you like those, link in the description. You can actually see all the streams over there in their entirety. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump back into this episode and see how this crisis unfolds. Energy crisis! That isn't good. No, I see a lot of people say Swordland and Suzerain was based on Turkey. The developers have said multiple times it's not based on any one country. I assume Rizia is the same. Like, there's definitely similarities in parts of Rizia, I think, to Iran, but also things that are not similar to Iran. You know, it's sort of a conglomeration of multiple different Middle East type countries and developing countries in the 50s, I believe, but I don't think it's any one particular country. I was awoken in the middle of the night by the Golden Guard. As the king, I knew such summons could only mean dire news. Apologies for disturbing you both at this hour. Make sure you're ready. You're not making this any easier. What happened? Lucidia approached me with a calm demeanor that contrasted with the anxious atmosphere inside. Your Majesty, we have an emergency to report. An hour ago, we received grave news. I wish there was another way to put this. The Grand Duchy of Pales has committed an act of war. War! Yeah! This is what we know so far. Approximately half an hour ago, the ships we sent to enforce our claim in the gas field fired on and sunk a Pelasian vessel. Wait, so we committed the... Who shot first? According to our reports, a small fleet of 3 Pelasian ships advanced directly at our ships, despite repeated warnings. The vessel that was sunk was not only warned, it managed to ram into our flagship, damaging it almost beyond repair. Our fleet then acted in retaliation, discharging its weapons at the Pelasians and sinking one of their ships. The other 2 vessels were immediately surrounded. They are still being kept at the location of the incident. Okay, we did shoot first. Can you go back to the part where they rammed into our flagship? Casualties? We're still ascertaining the full extent, but preliminary reports suggest multiple injuries aboard the Valero. And theirs? We don't know yet, Your Majesty. And the extent of the damage. Severe, Your Majesty. The impact compromised the hull integrity, causing significant flooding in the engine room and adjacent compartments. The Valero's propulsion system is heavily damaged, rendering the ship immobile. It is currently running on emergency power, but the flooding is critical. The damage control teams are working tirelessly, but without external assistance, the risk of losing the flagship is very high. We estimate approximately 150 sailors are engaged in containment efforts as we speak. And the Pelagian ship? It sustained catastrophic damage post-collision. Seconds after the collision, it was shot at by multiple shots by our frigates. It capsized minutes after the ramming. However, there are reasons to believe the collision was enough for it to sink, and our shots may not be the main reason. It's too early to tell. We can't simply let them drown. We have to do something. We need our efforts focused on saving the Valero and our sailors inside. According to the reports, around 0400 hours, our naval forces consisting of the flagship RNN Valero and 3 frigates were patrolling the field when the Pelagian fleet, composed of 3 armed vessels, approached the disputed zone. Despite repeated warnings, they continued their advance, executing aggressive maneuvers. The vessels that initiated the conflict, attempting to bypass our blockade, accelerated toward the RNN Valero. In a reckless act, it rammed our flagship on the starboard side near the engine room. How do you think we should respond? We should consider capturing the remaining ships as a bargaining chip. The closest port capable of dispatching a rescue team is on the mainland. Under current conditions, it would take several hours for a rescue team to reach the site. Vina, what do you think? We should drive our efforts to rescue their sailors. Alright, here's what we'll do. Divert our frigates to aid the Pelagian sailors, as well as to continue to assist the Valero. We must prepare for war! I'd rather not be painted as the aggressor directly. Attempt both rescues. Thousands march to demand repercussions for sailors' death. Hundreds of thousands of people gathered across Palasian cities demanding the international community to take action against what is perceived as a Rizian war crime. We did try to rescue the sailors. Our convoy drove steadily across the cobbled streets of the old town and Pales. It was my second visit to the Palasian capital since becoming the King of Rizia. The atmosphere this time was far more tense. The specter of recent naval incidents cast a long shadow over our relations. I sensed it in the mood of everyone around me. Upon our arrival to Castle Reinhardt, we were greeted by the expressionless face of the Palasian delegation with no sight of the Duke himself. No pleasantries were exchanged, no diplomatic gestures were played to the cameras. We were instead quickly ushered inside as the reporters were blocked off. King Romus, your rushed arrival here is a testament to the gravity of the situation. Wish I could say your visit today brings me comfort, but under the circumstances I find it hard to extend a warm welcome. Thank you for having us. Look, I do not intend to allow Pales to be pushed around by Rizia any longer, so please listen to me very carefully. Despite the Aeon ruling against you, you insisted on maintaining your blockade of the field in direct violation of the resolution. What right does the Rizian Navy have to block our access to the field? You not only went against international law, you sank a Palasian ship. Is this not a declaration of war? What dialogue could you possibly be after? Please help me understand, Your Majesty, because I am having a devil of a time making sense of your actions right now. Let's get our facts straight, Your Grace. Your ships were warned, but they not only ignored them, our flagship was rammed into. It is true it was my decision to blockade the field, but the incident wouldn't have happened if your ships didn't ram into us. The damage that inflicted was extensive. We will not accept responsibility for retaliating for your attack against our flagship. Pales is the one that escalated the incident. I'm listening. First off, you must pay reparations for the ship you sank and the suffering and chaos it brought. Needless to say, your navy will never be deployed back to Oris again. To ensure that, you will sign an official concession acknowledging Aeon arbitration results and Pale's full ownership of the gas field. Absolutely not. No shit you were deployed to the Oris field. You guys rammed us. You intended to escalate the situation further after all. This is a cause for war. Then war it is, your grace. I offered you a chance for peace, Axel, but you were standing in my way. A state of war has existed between the Kingdom of Rizia and the Grand Duchy of Pals. What? My budget is not pretty. Did I actually invade Pals? I didn't think I did that yet. The Port Draizan Observatory Tower stood tall against the night sky, twinkling overhead as my motorcade arrived beneath it. However, it now functions more as a museum than an astronomical observations due to the city's light pollution. It served as a tangible relic of Rizia's bygone era when celestial wonders were more easily unveiled. I'd come to meet with Grand Viseman Ignacus for the alignment of the 6 stars, a rare Verkist celestial event that occurred every 200 years. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Stargazing. Think nothing of it. Retelling it would be welcome. Imagine St. Verk, a venerable faith's architect, embarking on a sacred sojourn into the cosmic vastness. Guided by divine insight, St. Verk witnessed the cosmic ballet grasping the profound significance of this alignment. With spiritual brilliance, he condensed the 11 pillars into 6, aligning them with the celestial bodies now recognized as planets. Very good, Your Majesty. You do know your history. The library, a nexus of knowledge and celestial observation, became the space where St. Verk communed with the cosmos. Saint Verk percepted the alignment as a symbol of spiritual evolution, a journey toward a more harmonious interconnectedness of the cosmic and spiritual realms. Each aligned planet embodying a pillar became a torch illuminating simplified teachings, a testament to the diverse perspectives within Verkism. The alignment of the 6 stars acted as a celestial guide. Truly stirring. Until then, tell me about the religious affairs in Rizia. The Verks have a neutral opinion of your reign. However, the state's welfare program has been seen as a favorable initiative. The Danusris and Golcondas communities see it that way as well. As a community predominantly composed of Vezek and Rumburgians, their perception is that you lack acceptance for diversity has diminished respect among them. Withholding financial support for their grand sanctuary has notably diminished your Majesty's likability within their community. They perceive it not as just as a physical, but also as a symbolic representation of the decline and neglect of the religious heritage within our kingdom. Overall, they express dissatisfaction with the preservation of their well-being as a minority religion. So one group is neutral, the other two don't like me. Got it. Okay. Honestly, I don't really care about all this right now. I really just want to figure out what's going on with the war. I feel like I'm clicking through this stuff because I just want to figure out what's going on with the war. My head is not in the religion space right now. Okay. Walking on a razor's edge. Hopefully I'm not ignoring stuff that'll lead to a coup. Inspirational. What a great shooting star. Certainly a sight to behold. It sounds like a coup might be around the corner regardless. I don't know. The religious people don't like me. I didn't hear anything about us being overthrown. Although I don't know. I don't know. Can we get to the next turn so I can get my sub? Funding of religious charities. So the Verks are neutral. Their opinion's low. I don't know. Where do they show up in? Welfare? Dissatisfied Gulcondas community, discontented Denurtrus community. So, I guess maybe the Denustrist. I don't know if that'll make them like me anymore, but I'm not going to change the state religion. The economy is going to collapse next turn. Conversation with Lasudia? Our lover! No, we got no nukes. That's not a thing I think you can have. Just concluded our visit to Terrador Air Force Base. The base's new expansion was truly impressive. Amid the whirlwind of activity, we barely got a chance to speak to each other. On the way back down to the motorcade, she asked me to accompany her downtown. The city sustained heavy damage when Rizia reconquered it in the 1920s. Attempts had been made to revitalize it, but several bombed-out derelict buildings still stood in its center. She ordered our driver to stop in front of the tallest one. It was completely boarded up, and the remains of a fire escape dangled precariously from the 5th story. This is... well, it's now during the main game, Cyphus. Rain has been recently elected. It starts before. In the dimming light of the setting sun, I could just make out an old mural painted on its side. An angular 1920-style depiction of a palace, defaced almost beyond recognition. Where are you taking me to, Duchess Azaro? Patience, Your Majesty. Immediately, the atmosphere transformed. We were in a chic-looking lounge, its furnishings sleek and understated. The soft strains of jazz filled the air. The hand of patrons were sitting around sipping cocktails. They paid us no mind as we crossed the room to a cozy private booth by the window. What a brilliant idea. My family bought this building when Rizia took back the Pales Administrative District. We've been using it as a members club of sorts. Until we were ready to go public, this is the closest we can get to a proper date. Not many women would be so bold. I love that about you. I don't want to live a life stewing over opportunities I missed. A Siegebreaker sling? What the hell's that? Lucidia nodded approvingly. I'll have the same. We're making our official declaration soon, aren't we? No going back from that. I'm ready. Rizia's ready. The news of our impending war seemed to drastically speed up his recovery. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back on his feet by the time the war begins. What a shame. I was looking forward to watching you order our troops around. You'll still get plenty of that, but he'll be invaluable for behind-the-scenes strategizing. I never wanted to end up in another war with Pals, but if we must fight, then I'm glad to have him with us. Well, maybe a little bit. To us. While we're here, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for House Cesaro over the past years. No need to thank me. Your house and mine share a special bond. Not every king would see the wisdom in honoring it. Your readiness to defend Rizia against Pelasian aggression won you many admirers at Cardese Monteclar. Yes, there are those of us who wish you had done more to prepare our kingdom for the war we now find ourselves facing. Internally, our national security is not all that it could be, but it's not too late for something to be done about it. Simply put, my family likes order, and they like monarchs who are invested in maintaining it. Perhaps I should have been born in Azaro. Perhaps one day you'll join the family. Ooh! Obviously, you can count on the Azaro's full support in the war. Strong bonds between the crown and the military have always served this country well. During the War of Rizian Succession, my ancestor Anna drew up plans for a monarcho-military system of government. Rizia ruled both by a king and the army. Can you imagine? There's only one way a regime like that can end, with a king's beheading. Not if he and the military work together as a single well-oiled machine. Ask my father about this when you meet him. He's got plenty of opinions about it. You know what? I just might. He's looking forward to speaking with you about a great many things. What am I even doing bringing all this up on the eve of war? Meanwhile, I think we should stop seeing each other. What? Thank you for the company. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Briefing on the invasion of Pals. I'd never seen this room accommodate so many people who are not part of the council before. Today it was packed with military staff. Every single top-ranking general and admiral in Rizia was in attendance. As soon as I entered the room, they stopped their chatter and saluted me. I don't really have I have got like 10 infantry divisions, 3 support divisions, and 2 armored divisions. I don't know if that's enough. Your Majesty. Your Grace. Given his unmatched expertise on military strategy, I brought General Tadius with me today. As soon as she said that, I realized the man in the wheelchair was the famous general himself. Despite knowing him for years as my father's counselor for war and security, and even serving under him in the military, I had difficulty recognizing him. We caught eyes, and he saluted me. Before we begin, a news from Grand Admiral. Unfortunately, the damage from the attacks on our flagship Valero were worse than initially reported, and the ship still remains out of service. We won't be able to use it in our invasion. Your Majesty, our forces are already mobilized. Our naval and air forces are prepared and awaiting for your orders, and our ground forces will be ready to cross the border within 48 hours. Due to the overwhelming presence of the Pelasian Navy and naval defenses around Pals, the Gulf of Als, including the possibility of direct engagement with Lespasia, our strategy will have to rely on attack from either north or southwest. And what's our intelligence on their defensive strategies? God damn it, I didn't build the Navy up strong enough. I'm guessing I would have been able to do naval stuff if I had a stronger Navy. There's a chance we can break through from their southern coast with the help of our Navy. God damn it. Did my naval base expansion not complete? Were we a turn late on that? What's the status of our military? Our land army is getting ready for action, Your Majesty. We can currently field around 8 to 9 fully equipped infantry divisions. I believe this is a good number in our fight against the Pals. Unfortunately, we can only field 3 mechanized support divisions, which are specifically trained to support assaults of our infantry and armored divisions. We should not risk losing them, as they can change the tide of war. And lastly, when it comes to our tanks, we currently field 3 tank divisions. Pals has far more tanks than we have. On the other hand, our Air Force is barely capable of contesting Pelasian air superiority. We can still conduct bombing outside of the reach of their primary air defense systems, which will be quite a problem. Lastly, our Navy has unfortunately suffered a great loss with the Valero taken out of service. The It's important to highlight that despite investing greatly in our Navy, they still have access to superior technology than us. Our admirals have reported our specially trained Marine Division, and their deployment ships will be ready to initiate a coastal invasion in no time. God damn it. What are the strategic objectives? Arches and Zeeks. We're gonna lose this war. Alright, we'll try to feint in the north. No, you don't have to fight the war of error. It's a choice based on your decisions. I want to do a naval invasion with my troops. But we've already been told we don't have a strong enough fleet to engage them directly. So I think we keep our Navy on standby. Apparently you can opt out of the war game, which I did not do. Sovereign Memorial. We're gonna lose the war. If we needed, I think we needed to invest more heavily in the Navy. I think that would have gone a long way. It's not your fault, Vina. You couldn't have predicted it. We still have each other. Hello, Estella. Okay. I didn't know you felt that way about her. Okay. Take envelope. First one he ever wrote. Okay, is this this is a letter from... Are you all right? Say a few words for your father. Please, by all means. Hey, Tortuga, how you doing? Thanks for the raid, everybody. I think we're near the very end of Rizia, by the way. The war is about to begin. I don't think we're going to win. It sounds like our navy is dramatically outclassed. They've got way more tanks than we do. Our infantry divisions are in a good spot, but our mechanized divisions are too small. And I'm also, like, pretty much bankrupt, so there's that, too. Despite the clashes, there was an enduring love that started years ago when our hearts first connected. It survived storms and endured worst of our disagreements. Tonight, standing here by your resting place, I want you to know my heart is no bitterness. This is a love letter, right, from my father to my mother, I think? I never knew you felt that way about him. Okay... Okay. You know nothing. I understand the risks, but this is a battle that must be faced head on. You cannot see into the future any more than anyone else. I do see. I see a son determined to embark on a military expedition when his attention should be dedicated to the rightful restoration of Zil. I see the very foundations of the monarchy are being put at risk through such action. And speaking of risk, I've heard whispers about your escapades with House Azaro, a family harboring their own ambitions regarding the throne. Or so the rumors say. Risk. This coming from the person who's secretly been practicing denurtery under my nose. Or so the rumors say. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, Mother. I know all about it. It's called faith for a reason. It's not something you casually discard like shedding clothes for a different outfit. If you're looking for an apology, you can forget it. I will not renounce my belief to appease anyone's expectations, and I'll be damned if you think otherwise. I honestly don't care what you believe. I just wish you had been forthright about it. My beliefs are mine to hold, and I do not owe an explanation. If forthrightness is what you seek, understand that some aspects of me are not open for debate. Now, if you'll excuse me, I seek solitude by your father's side. Ah, yes, our discussions with our mother. Anyway, this discussion is wrapping up here, and we're about to go straight into a declaration of war speech against pals. So things are really going to start hitting the fan in the next episode when we are introduced to the warfare mechanic, and that will kind of change things a bit. So we'll see how that plays out in our next episode. However, until then, this is the Historical Gamer, always defending yours truly. What words? Defending my legacy, despite my mother's doubting of my abilities. And why would anyone doubt a king's abilities who has stumbled through such a momentous time? But that'll be for next time. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer once again saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye.